Oh, not this. Oh. No, I forgot where we ended last time. I have to read 6,000 things. 6,000, not 4, 6,000. Anyways, welcome back everybody to Sherlock Holmes and the Case of the Silver Earring, I think is. Yeah, I'm getting the thumbs up. It's the right title. I'm crazycayo, and we must now read. If I can remember how to pull up my inventory. Ah, there we go. Oh, and this music, it got copyright striked last time too because it's, was that a horse whinnying? Because it's so loud. Okay, okay, let's start with this. The crime. Report on the investigation of the case of Sherringford Hall, Inspector in Charge Lestrade, 14th of October, 1897. Before 11 o'clock in the evening, Sir Melvin Bromsby, engineer, architect, and contractor of renown, was slain by a single gunshot in his mansion, Sherringford Hall. The crime, the author of which is still undetermined, took place in the ballroom during the reception arranged by the victim in honor of his daughter's return to England. She had spent the last several years at finishing school on the continent. Despite the presence of 100 witnesses, I didn't think there was that many of us that could fit in that room, but sure, no precise testimony was obtained regarding the exact circumstances of the horrific act. I feel like there also wasn't 100 of us in the room when he was talking. There was maybe like a dozen. He's making up facts. Nevertheless, based upon certain evidences, there is a presumption of suspicion towards the daughter of the victim, Miss Lavinia Bromsby. There you go. The crime. Instrument of crime. Oh. He already told us it was a gun. Report by Inspector Lestrade, 14th of October, 1897. Instrument of crime. The bullet extracted from the corpse of the victim corresponds to the caliber of the revolver found in Miss Lavinia Bromsby's purse. This purse, found on the floor, was near the door from which Miss Lavinia Bromsby first appeared after the mortal shot was fired. All of the witnesses agree that the sound of the shot originated at or near this very same doorway. The revolver is an old small-bore Wright, which is also a highly reliable weapon. This would explain why the only shot fired was mortal, despite a distance of several dozen feet and a difficult angle. Miss Lavinia claims that the victim personally gave her this revolver before the crime for the purpose of her protection against some unnamed threat. This account can be supported by the fact that these models are impossible to find on the continent, where Miss Lavinia has spent these last years. Premeditation can be excluded if she is found to be the murderer. Cool. Sounds like fun. The motive. Report by Inspector Lestrade, 14th of October, 1897. The motive. The victim, even if he had few or even no friends, still might not have enemies capable of committing this act. His strong unpopularity among his domestics was compensated by the attractive wages he paid them. His business partners spoke of him as a tough but fair player, according to the criterions of this environment. The fact that he spent long years in India and was solely devoted to his business precludes any crime of jealousy or passion. Finally, the modus operandi doesn't correspond to the typical revenge killing by this or that Hindu sect, though these things do happen. These things do happen. Why is there a horse whinnying in our apartment? Since when do horses live in apartments? The motive, then, must apply to his holdings, or something quite personal. Another line of reasoning that points to Miss Lavinia Bromsby. According to H. Grimble, the partner of Sir Bromsby, her relationship with her father had become so strained that Sir Bromsby visited his daughter only once during these past 6 years. A local constable must contact Mr. H. Fowlett, the attorney of Sir Bromsby, in order to recover the essential parts of his last will and testament, if it exists. The development of the crime. Report of Inspector Lestrade, 14th of October, 1897. I'm gonna die. The developments. With regard to the distance and angle of shooting, it would be reasonable to suppose that only an expert marksman could have succeeded in making such a shot. But the factor of probability still exists and admits other possibilities. Yay. The testimony of the group of cabmen who were in the ideal place to have observed such matters saw no one leave through the service door after the shooting, and up until the time when one of the domestics locked it from the outside. All the windows were equipped with thick bars, and fortuitous presence of the maid at the stairwell indicates that no one ascended to that floor. The testimony of Miss Lambert, the governess, indicates that she only noticed 2 people absent from the ballroom during Sir Bromsby's arrival. Mr. Horace Fowlett, the victim's attorney, and Miss Lavinia Bromsby. The domestics had been specifically instructed that all the guests were to be present during Sir Bromsby's entrance. I have been persuaded by all accounts that anyone who had left the ballroom had returned before Sir Bromsby's entrance. Since Horace Fowlett hasn't gone through the gates of the mansion of Sherringford Hall, the only person whose movements were unaccounted for at this time of the shooting is Miss Lavinia Bromsby. The chivalrous testimony of a young infantry officer, who has confirmed that he saw her standing at the threshold of the door, can be the only reason for not charging her with murder. As Miss Bromsby was in a state of deep shock last evening, according to the local doctor who examined her, her interview was delayed until today. And yet another report. Scotland Yard report. Police report. General information about the man called Sir Melvin Bromsby. No official involvement as a defendant in any criminal or civil matter. No appearance as a witness in a criminal or civil law case. Complainant as to a robbery committed at a fair stand in St. Bartholomew on July 1861, so that's 6 years ago. Judgment of... what? That's 1887. 67? 97? I don't know. I read the date, so... oh, it's 1897. Okay, so that was 26 years ago. 36 years ago? I can't do math. It's a good thing you're here. Yeah. Okay. Judgment of the court was favorable for the crown. Okay. Melvin Bromsby. Okay, this one's actually easy to read. It's not in weird handwriting. That's really hard to read when it's slightly blurry. Dear Sherlock, here is all the information that we know about the late Sir Melvin Bromsby. Isn't that the last one? Born in 1842 in Staffordshire, of a modest family, he finished his studies of architecture and civil engineering owing to the scholarship and financial assistance of his elder sister, who owned a florist shop. After he was awarded his diploma, he was employed by a small firm which he later left for a large enterprise, the Salinger Company. In 1872, he was sent to India to assist in the construction of a bridge for the army. At the end of this project in 1874, he left his position with Salinger and founded his own enterprise in Bombay. At that same time, he courted Carlotta Campbell, the second daughter of Colonel Campbell, OBE, Commander-in-Chief of an important local garrison. The military appreciated Bromsby's straightforwardness and business acumen. Thus, the army entrusted him with many contracts for constructing barracks and other types of work. In 1877, he was married to Carlotta. His business flourished, and he hired a young accountant, Mr. Grimble, who later became Bromsby's personal assistant. An ideal candidate for the position, Grimble excelled at his various administrative tasks. Sir Bromsby's business has continued to prosper over the years. In 1879, Carlotta Bromsby, née Campbell, died, giving birth to their daughter Lavinia. Bromsby's business enjoys great success. However, the fact that he has been awarded nearly all of the Army's civilian contracts has aroused the jealousy and suspicion of other British businessmen in India. He has been rumored that he has gained his fortune through the exploitation of his Indian laborers and British workmen, poor working conditions, and miserable wages. In 1884, upon learning of the death of his elder sister, he decided to return home and prepared the transfer of his business interests to England. He also invested his money in several cement factories, which permitted him to reduce his costs further and thus increase his profits. In 1891, he sent his daughter to study at a finishing school near St. Moritz in Switzerland. She has just returned to England several days ago. He was awarded a knighthood in 1892. It was night. There are several cases where his name has been mentioned because of suggested fraud with his contracts and ill usage of convict laborers at his factories. Such practices are common in London. London business circles, and his wealth allowed him to avoid scrutiny by the courts. Thus, when his behavior is weighed within the current climate of commercial morality, he is neither angel nor demon. Assuming his business assets are included, his current fortune would be measured in the tens of thousands of pounds. That would make him one of the wealthiest contractors in Britain. I wish you good luck in this case. Scribble. Oh, Mycroft. That makes sense. I like Scribble better. Scribble, not Mycroft. Scribble. Oh, voice in my head. Okay, sweet, quite a bit of money. Is that it? I'm done. Yay! That was 6. That was 4. I still had to read 6. 6 is more than 4. Okay, how do I get out of here? Nope. Yep. Okay, I read it.
All this is very interesting.
Is it?
According to the evidence,
Doesn't seem
it
interesting to me.
seems that the shooter was not in the ballroom
Oh.
or the
Why are you reiterating
Where
this?
was he then?
I, as the player, already know it.
Are you finished, Watson? Shall we go? Let us return to Sherringford Hall.
Why? I don't want to go back to Sherringford Hall. I spent too many miserable hours there.
Cabby!
I know, it was horrible. Cabby! Oh, we're magical. We're here. Why are we so far apart? Apparently, I must have so much personal space so I can wave my arms. Hello? Were you just hanging out? I feel like that's where you were last time we were here. Just been standing on the porch these last several hours.
Please, go right in.
Yay,
Please
me.
wait here, gentlemen. I will see if Miss Lavinia is receiving callers. She's in her room.
Oh yay, the music is so cheerful. And this hideous yellow walls again. Oh, is this a room where the speech was? It's all cleaned up. Can we go? We'll just start leaving, wander around the house. Oh, we can!
Closed.
Oh, never mind. We can't. Oh, little Sherlock. Oh, am I supposed to be talking to you? Probably.
Closed.
I'd rather walk around the room and have Sherlock say,
I have to
closed.
leave you, sirs. I need to verify certain things.
What? I have to leave you, sirs? I need to verify. Okay, never mind. We can go through that
The
door.
more we consider the facts of this affair, the more mysterious it becomes.
I
The
thought I was
important thing is to
playing
be
as
precise and
Sherlock.
rigorous in your
Why
analysis.
are you guys talking?
But at Scotland Yard, we know this well. Reminds me a bit
Oh.
of bad business I resolved. I believe it involved a theft of sticks
Who?
from a polo
Theft of
team.
sticks
I
from a
have
polo
myself
team.
engaged in this sport but a few years ago.
Really?
Oh,
Do you enjoy the sport of polo, Mr. Grimble?
no.
I
I was right.
You cannot imagine the benefits of this sport. To achieve perfect form and union, man with horse.
A little like the waltz, eh?
Exactly.
Nothing like
Except
the
that
waltz.
with this sport, mounting is at full speed, which complicates things singularly.
How is polo
I
anything
don't
like
follow
the
you.
waltz?
The team from Brixton, in my opinion, is the
Why?
finest example of how polo should be played.
Are we talking
Perhaps
about
they
polo?
may well be.
I
But
just
what would
wanna
you say
solve
about
a
that last
murder.
match of the Old Goats Rangers?
They were absolutely splendid. But what of the Brixton team?
I don't care.
Weren't they the cause of some ruckus about
This
a
game
matter
is
of
like
corruption?
torture. I just have to sit here. Oh, there we go. I'm back. I was gonna say I just have to sit here and listen to their hubbub all day. Yes. Can we go this way? Closed. That's what I was expecting.
Closed.
Closed. Closed. You say it so enthusiastically, Sherlock. It really matches the expression on your face.
No, I need more information.
I need information to climb the stairs. Why? 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 What? You make no sense, Mr. Sherlock. Oh, something in my eye. Ooh, hey.
A handbag of Lavinia Bromsby. I do not favour ransacking a lady's personal property, but I think she will be understanding.
Sure, she totally seems like the understanding type. Okay, can I look at that? Unpack. Oh, program of London
A program
Opera.
for the London Opera.
Okay. And Harrington letter. Ooh. No, I want my book. I didn't... Sure, Sherlock, that's what I was saying to do. Where's that second one? Here's the letter, anyways. Dear Sherlock, No, I have to actually select it. I was like, what? That's the letter for Minecraft. Henry Harrington is pretending to be Minecraft, or vice versa. Dear Miss Lavinia, oh, look at this fancy paper. Excuse my boldness, and do believe in my most sincere condolences and honorable affection in this terrible time. I cannot excuse myself if I allow you to face all of this on your own. I ordered my valet to move my possessions to the Queen's Arms, which is the nearest inn to Sherringford Hall. I would be greatly honored if you would allow me to make myself useful to you. At my new lodgings, I am but a few minutes away should you require my assistance. I took care to forget my gloves at your mansion so that my visit to call on you would not invite any undue speculation or gossip. Sincerely and eternally yours, Lieutenant... something Harrington. What is that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Lieutenant something... There was an opera thing. I don't get to read the opera thing. I want to read the opera thing! It makes me read everything else! Why not an opera program? It's very unsettling when it doesn't let me do things that I want to do. Why can't I go through this door? Is it like a fake door? Come back. Ooh. Okay, well, oh, there's nothing there. There's nothing there, little voice in my head. Yeah, well. Alright, let's go in here. I'm sure she won't mind me poking around her entire house. Hey, look, his gloves. What if we steal them? Then he won't be able to find them. Steal
To whom
them.
does this belong?
You know to whom it belongs, you dummy. You're supposed to be a detective. Dummy. Okay, let's go this way. And now he'll never get his gloves back, because we will have stolen them. Anybody leave any more hair in the sink? No? Nothing? Okay. Good to know that we're very resourceful, Mr. Holmes. Out the door. Is this the way we came? I can never remember in this one. No, there's the light. Someone I see has cleaned up all the evidence. Hey, chef dude. What are you doing to
may
that
I come
poor
in?
turkey?
Oh, take that!
Pardon me. It is already quite dead, you know.
He's got such
Oh,
a
you frightened
creepy
me!
face.
I have a case of the nerves, you understand. I cannot find my bottles.
Bottles?
On the table.
No, not those! That is a poor vintage. The 2 bottles that the old crap, God rest his soul, ordered up from London for the party. Both were 18-year-old
They probably
whiskey,
drunk by all those drunk
perfect
dudes out
for
by
the
the
digestion
carriage.
and the heart sorrows.
Mm-hmm.
And who could have taken them?
I'm sure that the barman from Hartford's tumbled them. Who else would know to take those particular bottles over the others?
Or just
Very
somebody
good.
wanted whiskey.
I will leave you to your chicken then.
That's it.
Have fun with your chicken then. Someone stole some whiskey. Is that it down there? Nope, I can't go that way. Oh, maybe I can. Aha! Aha! Nope. I can't steal anything. Man. I just want your... whatever that is. Or your green bottle. Your copper kettle. Okay. Do, 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 do. apparently that's a way out of the house. Okay. Hello. Let's go back in here. You're gonna make me talk to them about Polo. Who are you? Is it? Oh, I didn't realize that was... I just thought he was some dude. I didn't realize. Where are you going?
Well, Mr. Grimble, I didn't expect to see you here at this hour.
I am worried about Miss Lavinia, needless to say. I also thought I might learn something of interest about the investigation. This difficulty, if it persists, can do great harm to the business.
Strained relationship.
Sir Bromsby and Miss Lavinia had rather strained relations, it seems.
Well, Sir Bromsby and Miss Lavinia have never got on very well. Of late, their distance had grown due to the influence of several incidents.
I can do that. And what's Watson doing? Oh, is he? Okay.
What sort
yes, he is writing
incidents,
notes.
precisely?
I
thought he was just like
remember
fiddling with
one
something.
instance in India.
That's how I feel,
where
Watson.
Sir Bromsby attacked a friend of Miss Lavinia.
Ooh.
He was our native cartman's son. It seems he spilled a jug full of water that was intended for Sir Bromsby to wash his face.
I bet it's whatever his face
Bromsby
is.
began cursing and
He's probably a
thrashing the
kid or
boy
something.
before his daughter's very eyes. Miss Lavinia
Although he
took
was
her
a native
friend's
cartman
part
son, so
and spoke
I
to
don't
her father most rudely.
The devil, you say? What occurred next?
There is no one in the whole of India who would have dared address Sir Bromsby in such a manner. He stayed closeted in his office for the entire
I
day.
am paying attention,
The next day, he
It's just
fired
very
the
hard.
carter.
especially
But
when I have
despite
a
these
violin
incidents,
screaming
I am
at me.
still sure that Miss Lavinia sincerely loved her father.
I'm sorry,
Goodbye.
but I have to go.
Do
All
we?
right, as you wish. I shall remain here.
It's little pointy feet. Alright. Well, that was fun. Look at me dancing in the ballroom. Is this still closed? Closed.
Closed.
Yep. Can I go upstairs now? Is this one still closed? Closed.
Closed.
Yep. Okay, go back out. Maybe we can go upstairs now. That's this way.
No,
Upstairs.
I need more information.
There is no more information. What voice in my head? What are you speaking of? Over there in the corner, smiling. There's nothing in this room. There's nothing. Nothing. There was a drawer here the first time. A backwards book. A light. The stain is gone off the carpet. Plant. The plant. It's very suspicious. You don't see anything. Hello. What other people? There is no other people. I mean, there's Watson. I don't want to talk to Lestrade. He's boring. And he's creepy. I mean, I guess it's not really an excuse. Most of the people in this game are going to be fine. I'll talk to Lestrade. This wallpaper is also creepy. It looks like it has little eyes in it. Not this one, the one in the other room. Oh! She's here. Okay. Yeah, if she was in her room. Secret passages in the house.
I feel quite
Strangle
ready to answer your
Lestrade.
questions now, Mr. Holmes.
Do you?
Yesterday I was not in my right senses. I do want to encourage you. On the sound advice of Mr. Grimble. He explained to me that everything my father built during his entire life may collapse unless this gossip ceases and this matter is resolved. Do you agree, Mr. Holmes?
Whatever
My
the
hair's doing
truth
this
is,
weird, like,
I will
flop.
reveal
I can
it.
see it out of the corner of my eye. What? I missed all of that. Request. Shot.
First of all, it is necessary for me to know your acts and your movements during this unfortunate event.
Yes.
First, I attended my appearance in the powder room.
I like how you're wearing the
Then,
same dress.
As my father requested, I was
very
standing quietly
suspicious.
just inside the ballroom. I powdered my face one last time, while
People
everyone,
rarely
including
wear the
myself,
same dress.
was watching my father.
twice.
Suddenly,
At
I
least that's
heard
my...
this noise from behind me, and then I saw my father.
She obviously hasn't watched
stagger
Downton
over
Abbey,
the wall.
where they
my
switch
dear
out
Lord.
dresses every 10 seconds. Oh, I
So
must
I
change
ran to
for
his
dinner.
side
Oh, I must
and
change
found
again.
that he was dead.
Wow. What is
I
this?
feel quite ready to
Oh,
answer
okay.
your questions now,
That's all.
Mr.
No,
Holmes.
no, stop.
Yesterday I was not in my right senses.
Whatever the
Oh.
truth is, I will reveal it.
I have solved. I can skip dialogue. Not that I will. I'll only skip dialogue if I click on something that we've already heard. It's the space bar, guys. It's magical.
What was your relationship with your father?
We barely saw or even wrote to one another for 6 years.
I love how your mouth is
But
not
the father
moving
that met me upon my
and you're
return
talking.
was not the man I remembered. Something in his
This
eyes
is
had
how I
changed.
talk.
There was a wariness there, and perhaps even some unexplained anxiety.
Okay.
Forgive me, but it seems Lieutenant Harrington has made himself responsible for your care.
Oh, he has proved himself to be most gallant and
It's
considerate.
after your fortune.
I have no friends here, other than Mr. Grimble. Mr. Harrington neither requested nor expected any recognition for his kind interventions, and was most attentive yesterday
Suspicious.
evening.
Goodbye.
Thank you for answering my questions,
That's
miss.
it.
Oh, it is me who should be thanking you.
As I mentioned to you before, if this investigation is to proceed
You have a
properly,
fun
it'll be
voice,
necessary to
right
examine your
there.
father's personal documents. May we see his office?
Why are you crying again?
I suppose Sir Bromsby kept his papers in this drawer.
Watch out!
Good God!
It must be one of Fowlett's
Quite the
inventions.
visual effects.
Bromsby mentioned he had asked his lawyer to devise security measures to protect his private documentation.
What, so we just
I
burned them all?
remember now.
Oh,
that
thanks for
Fowlett
telling
has a
this
unique
to us as
passion
we
for
came up the stairs.
mechanizations
And we were going to
automatons.
his office to find his
I had
documents.
no
Oh no,
idea
you couldn't
what
mention
kind of
Gee, his
devices he had
desk has
created.
traps.
Inspector Lestrade, I give you leave to tend to your
Do you have
appearance.
2 ears
I
right
doubt
now,
you can
Sherlock?
return to the yard in such disrepair.
Feels like his head was
I will
doubled.
now examine this room according to my methods.
Oh joy, my methods. Ooh, a note. Okay, you made like a purring noise. Don't know what that was about. Ooh, a hand.
I need something.
I need something. Okay.
A Masonic symbol, no doubt.
Ooh, we're missing someone. An elephant. I like how real this elephant looks compared to the rest of you. It's very impressive.
A page from this book has been marked. Let's examine it.
Ew, whoa. Wow. Okay. This must have been that thing that was long and narrow. Letter from Fowlett to Bromsby. My dear friend, I would not miss this reception at any cost. Wow, this is quite the dramatic violin. I cannot help but envision the sight of Miss Lavinia's eyes when you make your announcement. Fear not, I have not received any bad news from my friend, the customs official. I will see you there on the day after tomorrow. Your friend, Horace Fowlett. P.S. The book will certainly help you understand my preferences in art that you found so debatable during your last visit. One more challenge. Bromsby, Grimble, and third person with Masonic ring. Yes. Medieval French art. Okay. The first examples of this art, from now on named crude colored woodcuts, date back to the first decade of the Middle Ages. At that time, there was neither any artistic nor rationale for hiding one picture inside another. Ooh, cool. Their motivations were sometimes subversive because certain subjects were forbidden to be artistically represented. Today, this technique is still rarely used, and the great majority of crude-colored woodcuts conceal only animals or joyful personages in Baroque landscapes. Ooh, woodcuts. Woodcut. Woodcut. Wood carving. It's the scene from Brave. Witch. Wood carving. Witch. Wood carving. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm a
young Lavinia,
horrible
with her
person.
grandfather, no doubt.
I'm so distracted when I'm bored. Ow. Hit the mic. What? I missed that. Aha! Young Lavinia with gun. Wow, he looks even older there than he looked now. Unless that's her grandfather? I don't know. I missed what he said. Okay. Oh, yes, let me pick up all of these. Read.
It is the pieces of the English edition of the Indian newspaper.
Okay, can we close this now? Nope. Burnt paper with a code. How do you know it has a code? Oh, I see. Remember, I still have the original of the puzzle concerning the code in my 55 is the number to be found by adding. Aha. From Bombay. Translated from French. Okay. Ooh. Don't know how that's helpful. Okay, I think we are done with Surdesky. I don't seem to have any other options. Picture.
This bridge is quite impressive. It must have been a considerable undertaking.
Oh, we can see his bridge that he was making. Oh, yes, that is quite a bridge. Kalidasa Abyss. Okay. Wood carving? Does that just take me back to the desk? Does it? Yeah, it does. Okay. No, Sherlock. What are you doing? Wow!
Look here. This message just came to
Bam!
me.
Into existence.
2 days ago, Mr. Horace Fowlett was seen leaving for the North Country.
Okay.
Constable for the town of Flatton, where the solicitor resides, obtained this information from Fowlett's neighbours.
Wasn't done
I
looking.
have a bad feeling about this, Watson. What would you say to a short jaunt
No,
to Flatton
I don't want to go
finish
to
off our day?
Flatham.
No
I'm still
objection
looking
at
at
all.
this room. Nope. Nope. Shoot. Book. I want to look at this painting.
A remarkable portrait of the late Sir Bromsby.
Aha!
Ideal spot for a hiding place.
I told you.
Obviously impossible.
Why is it
Obviously impossible.
Can I go? What? What? Oh. I looked at the bridge.
Obviously impossible.
Close. What if I come over here? Come here, Mr. Holmes. I cannot look at any of these other pictures. Did I just screw up? Oh. Can I go through this door? Where does it take me? Oh. Too boring. Okay. Platinum Station. Yay. Why do I need to watch you walk?
Cabby!
Oh, and call it Cabby.
Hello,
Oh,
gentlemen.
you're
Fletcher here.
creepy.
Good day, Constable.
I'm coming to kill you. What is that? Ministry of Funny Walks? Help?
Can you help us?
Yes, Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard wired me about your arrival and instructed me to do as I would with the inspector himself.
Okay.
Would you be so good to take us to the neighbours who spoke of that night?
Come with me. Here we are.
Excellent!
It's raining.
Graham, this is a detective from London. He would like to hear what Mr. Fowlett told you that night.
Yeah.
So Mr. Fowlett left?
Yes, he made his departure the day before yesterday, in the night. Not that this is the first time he's behaved in such a way.
Great voice. I
Anyway,
like your
he's not
voice.
like others, and it didn't
your
seem
face
odd
is
to
less
see him
creepy.
leave at that hour, despite
kinda
the
like
heavy
the chef.
downpour.
but like a less creepy version. Oh, now you turned creepy. You're just staring. His eyes follow me wherever I go. I don't like
And
you
how
anymore.
is he, this Fowlet?
I call him an eccentric, you see. Not that I have anything bad to say about the man. His place is full of baubles with springs
Baubles.
and mechanisms. There have been explosions. Yes, upon my word, explosions. But the next morning, there he'd be, always ready to wish me a good
too
day.
Slow. It's past you already. Depart.
Did you actually see him depart?
Well, a shutter on the barn had come loose and was beating about in the wind. I went out to set it straight in that moonless night. Then there he was. I saw him leaving. I shouted out, "Hey there, Mr. Fowlet." He waved and shouted
How do you
something
know
about
it's
leaving for the
actually
north
him,
for a
though?
fortnight.
Do you know where he went?
I couldn't quite make him out with all the wind and rain, but it seemed to me he left on some business matter. I think a fellow came to talk to him about something.
Interesting.
Well, it may be nothing, but if you think that the things he has in there might explode, you should better go and check.
What?
Do you know a way into Fowlet's house?
Here's the key to the door that he left with my wife. If you don't mind, I won't accompany you. I prefer to remain alive and in good health a good bit longer.
I like that.
You say he had a visitor.
Oh, I don't know. It seems to me I saw someone at his place at nightfall. But people often visited old Fowlet at odd times. Fellows who brought him pieces of I don't know what for his contraptions. There was also a friend who often came by. I think his name was Sir Glumsby or Flomsby, but it couldn't have been him because he's much taller than the chap I saw.
Oh, the chap you saw was
Good.
short.
I will go see what I can find. Wait for me here.
As you wish.
Okay, well, that would imply you have to walk, Sherlock. Keep walking. Keep walking. And just inch. He will! Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Close.
Closed. There's you and your miserable voice again. Okay, can we go this way? Hurry up, you slow man. Haha, I will make him run everywhere now. Well, everywhere that I can make him run, he will be running.
I
Climb!
need something.
What do you mean you need something? A key, a glove, a photograph.
I need something.
I don't know
I
what that
need
means.
something.
Measuring tape.
Footsteps.
Oh.
Size 10.
Okay, that was apparently what I needed. Oh, is that a footstep? I just saw it with some water because it's raining. Okay. How does that help us break in? Oh, I have to use the key in the door. I'm dumb. Gee whiz, dumb brain. Here's the key to the door that he left with my wife. Wow.
Close.
Closed.
I can't enter like that.
Why not?
I can't enter like that.
Why can't I enter? Why do I have to ask the constable's permission? What? How was I ever gonna figure that out on my own little voice in my head if you didn't tell?
I could have watched you wander around for the next 10 minutes.
I would have. Why is there a ladder on the roof?
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
Why do I have
Constable
to
Fletcher,
ask?
I must
The
ask
dude
that you
gave
allow
me a
me to enter
key.
alone. Do you agree?
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
What?
And now, Watson, if you could be so kind, return to the station and speak with the station master. Question him until you are satisfied
This
that you have
game-
a detailed description of
It's a
the
good thing I have
party
a
who
voice
took
in my
the
head, or
last
it'd be like,
train to the north
I don't
2
know
days ago.
what I'm doing.
As soon as you are done,
Oh,
please return
no.
here. Keep close watch,
Dead soon.
for I may need your
If
assistance
I die,
inside.
it's this game's fault.
Wait for us.
All right.
That was a fun face, Sherlock. Alright, I think I'm actually gonna end this episode here. We will enter the house next time. I know we haven't done it because it's all been reading and talking! Blah! No, that's the exciting bit for next time. We'll actually get to do something instead of just reading. Oh well, thank you for joining me in Sherlock Holmes and the Case of the Silver Earring and the really annoying music. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.